Hello friends, welcome back to Cloud Pedagogy. In today's lab, we are going to implement Route 53 for our student directory application load balancer. Basically, Amazon Route 53 is a highly available and scalable cloud domain name system web service. Amazon Route 53 is effectively connects user requests to infrastructure running in AWS, like such as Amazon EC2 instances, Elastic load balancers, or even Amazon S3 buckets. The website can be accessed through the internet using various methods like using the public IP or the DNS string of the Elastic Load Balancer. So in our case, we are going to implement the Elastic Load Balancer in our student directory application. So let's go ahead with the task. In the task 1, we will check the current application load balancer. In the task 2, we will register a domain. In task 3, we will create a DNS for our student directory application load balancer. In task 4, we will test the DNS that we have created in task 3. In the task 1, we are going to check the current application load balancer in the student directory application. So let's look at our existing student directory application in AWS. There are only 3 EC2 instances in this target group. This is located in US East 1 of availability zones like B, D, F. So I'm going to go ahead in the ELB and copy the DNS name from there. Let me copy the DNS name with the /info page in the new browser. It will take me to the page between the various instances that I have running and the availability zones that those instances are running in. So refreshing this will show that it's changing the instances and changing the availability zones that are being hit. Right now my ELB target group have 3 instances, so I can see 3 instances traffic. Congrats, the task 1 is completed because the application load balancer is working fine in the student directory application. In the task 2, we will register a domain. To use a domain name like such as studentpedagogy.com, you must find a domain name that is not already in use and register it. So when you register a domain name, you reserve it for your exclusive use everywhere on the internet, typically for 1 year. By default, AWS automatically renew your domain name at the end of each year, but you can turn off automatic renewal. So let's go ahead and do this. Sign into the AWS Management Console and open the Route 53 console page. In the navigation pane, choose Domains and then click on Register Domains. On the Register Domains page, choose Register Domains. Choose Proceed to Checkout. On the pricing page, choose the number of years that you want to register the domain for and whether you want AWS to automatically renew your domain registration before the expiration date. So click Next. On the contact information page, enter contact information for the domain registrant, admin and tech contacts. The values that you enter here are applied to all of the domains that you are registering. Now choose Next. On the review page, review the information that you entered and optionally correct it, read the terms of service and then select the checkbox to confirm that you have read the terms of service. Choose Submit. When domain registration is complete, your next step depends on whether you want to use Route 53 or another DNS service as the DNS service for the domain. Actually, domain registration takes 3 days to complete and get mail. So you will receive an email when your domain registration has been approved. Congratulations, you have successfully registered your domain name. In the task 3, you will configure the DNS to your application load balancer. Now my goal to create Route 53 for student directory application load balancer, which routes traffic for 3 instances. To route domain traffic to an application load balancer, use Amazon Route 53 to create an alias record that points to your load balancer. If you remember, in the previous lab, we have already created the load balancer for student directory application. So please finish the previous lab before attempting this lab. So in the task 2, we have already completed the domain registration. When you register a domain, AWS automatically create a hosted zone that has the same name as the domain. You use the hosted zone to specify where you want Amazon Route 53 to route traffic for your domain. Click on Hosted Zones on the left navigation pane in Route 53 console page. Choose the name of the hosted zone that has the domain name that you want to use to route traffic to your load balancer. Enter the domain or subdomain name that you want to use to route traffic to your application load balancer. The default value is the name of the hosted zone. For example, if a name of the hosted zone is studentpedagogy.net and you want to use myalbtest.studentpedagogy.net to route traffic to your load balancer, then enter myalbtest. In the record type, choose A-routes traffic to an IPv4 addresses and some AWS resources option. Turn on the alias if you are using the quick create record creation method. After you enable the alias, you can get to choose your application load balancer with the below configuration. In value or route traffic to, choose alias to application and classic load balancer. Next, choose the region that the endpoint is from. So, select your load balancer name in the drop-down list. In the routing policy, select the simple routing policy and enable the target health if you want Route 53 to route traffic based on the health of your resources. Next, choose Create Records. Changes are generally propagated to all Route 53 servers within 60 seconds. When propagation is done, you will be able to route traffic to your load balancer by using the name of the alias record that you created in this procedure. Check the status of the record and wait until it turns to in-sync status mode. Congratulations, you have successfully created a record for your DNS name. In the task 4, finally we'll test the DNS that we have created. Copy the record name and paste it in a new browser by entering the /info page. When I refresh this page, it is changing the instances and changing the availability zones that are being hit. Right now my application load balancer has only 3 instances. So I can see only 3 instances that are being hit. Congratulations, you have successfully created a domain name for your student directory application. Well, I think that's all I have to say this time. I'd like to see each other again in my next video. Until then, take care.